Alright, so welcome everyone to another round of Planet Nomads. I am back on another rainy day. I mean, the sun's coming out, it looks like, but it's raining again, of course. And I've actually gotten some work done on the structure itself. I kind of got into a roll with the last round of changes with the stairwell, and you see it looks so much wider now. It's so much nicer, feeling more open, you know, than it did with the tighter fit. And it's uniform. That's a big thing about it. It's uniform now. And so I started building the next structure area up, and the idea I had was, you know, okay, we're gonna have this little walkway spot to walk out here. I think I'm gonna do some kind of cosmetic here. I'm not sure what yet, but you know, we got a nice view as you come up. You look out, nice little glass, so you know, we walk over here, we can look out and see this is docked. And the way I'm thinking right now, I have it as just kind of a little walkout where you can walk out here and kind of look down, but I'm kind of leaning towards changing this up to actually having instead the stairs continuing upwards with like maybe bracing for that, but having this as more of an open floor right here, and it's like the command floor, or you know, the management area for when people are flying their vehicles in to dock on the space station. And then we're going to have like a control tower up above that controls the upper areas with the big landing pads. So I'm going to try this to see how it works as far as this being open floor. I'm thinking, you know, I take the glass out is fine. Leave the corners so it looks like there's some kind of support for the upper levels, plus just the fact that there'd be something to kind of act like it's tying in. And take the middle columns out. What's interesting to me, though, is, of course, this goes through the floor. Not like it's supposed to go through solid matter, but it does go through solid matter. I was planning to actually replace something there to have either an opening, like a gap for it. Something else, I don't know. But right now, I'm just going to leave it since we do have a nice visual of it cutting through the floor so seamlessly. And so basically, if I did that, I would take this out and those, and you know, I'm just gonna start by taking out the glass. How about that? And so all I do now is I walk up here, nice little platform here that's open, and it does actually feel okay. I mean, obviously I have to have something here so I don't bang my head as I come upwards, and you see right there, that's about where it's gonna hit. I guess instead of doing that right there with another full block, I'm just gonna have to do it this way. So this actually works for me. You know, I've got other areas where we've got glass enclosed. We actually have the glass enclosure here, so when I come down, I'm walking up, oh hey, I can see something there. Look out here, we'll be able to see something there. So this is a nice different setup, and I think, yeah, that now that I have it set up like this open area, what I want to do now is actually take the railings out, despite having already measured things out and got it lined up right. I'm actually going to take this out and enclose it with more glass. So basically I have a control room, you know, hangar management, you know, type room for this setup. And that will, you know, it's not the full control tower type thing like we have a control tower that's going to be up top to manage the big vessels that come in, but this will be more like the shipping and receiving area. So the problem I'm running into now is that I either build it long ways, which actually lines up decently if I build it, rotate it kind of on the side, because what I could do is then place this in each corner, and I basically would just have to replace the tile with a set of corner pieces so it's not sticking out weirdly, and we get this nice little kind of curve in the corners. But then I have to build another little piece up top to, you know, fill in the gap, or I build them like standing up like this, at which point what happens is, coming from the center, it reaches all the way to the edge, and that means it causes a problem when I put the next piece down, because it's not going to line up exactly right, and I'm going to end up with a gap. So as much as I like the smooth connection right there, I really wish we had a more square option for the glass. That way it would be equal on every side and have everything fit quite, you know, the way you would expect it to. So I guess I'm going to be leaving a gap at the top and building a filler block all the way around so I can mount it this way and have a nice, clean little curved corner. And there we have it, a new enclosed area that, yes, we do have one below that looks down, but this is enclosed with an open floor plan pretty much. So you can walk up and be like, hey, you know what? I'm just going to step in here. I'm going to do something with that layer. We'll do some rails here too to make sure nobody accidentally falls on top of somebody else. Make it look a little bit more complete. But basically you come in here and I'm thinking we need some kind of control booth. And I'm sure I'm about to like, nope, no, I'm perfectly fine. Not going to step through. And of course here we have this little, won't center exactly the way I want. I guess I could do like a double type thing where it's like two of them are placed side by side. Oh, it doesn't actually do any red. Wow, okay. That seems like it's missing. You would think that it'd have some kind of element to do red on it. Obviously, I don't need these for flying. This is not meant to be for actual control of the vessel. It's just cosmetics to make it look like you come up here and you got a spot to, you know, tell them what to do. All right, and it's nicely lit up. 2 in each corner, 1 above each control booth section, 2 in the middle. Power is set specifically for the lights on here, so I just go up here. Lights are off, we're good. And so now this is how the hangar bay control room looks from the outside going up. And it actually, I mean, it really does kind of fit well. I wish we had a few more cosmetic items like screen wise and everything that would work in the game. We really have a lack of just pure cosmetic element, you know, stuff that's just for the cosmetics. That's not for any functionality. Like, you know, you see in other games, No Man's Sky, you've got a bunch of different chair options. Here we have no chairs. So we really are missing a lot of cosmetic stuff, but that now at least gives us a central. I mean, if I took the walls out and had this as just the landing pads, you would be like, that's the control room. That's the control tower for everything. It's got that larger expanded area right there. And no, this is just going to be the hangar bays, because once all of the ceiling areas are enclosed, which now that I know I'm going to have this top pad, I may actually go back and just, instead of, I mean, I might be taking that entire piece of that right there out and just instead use this top piece here so it's 1 level thick, and just add some of the blocks like this all along the edge to seal that in. And now I've added a set of lights going around it to illuminate basically the little walking path area. They're running off a temporary switch because I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it on that one switch there and be like, this is the power for just these, or if I'm going to have them feed off of the single switch that's up top here. That would reach down there. Just have a switch that feeds this all around here and that. So basically you turn off this hangar bay and all the lights or whatever in it, and it turns off all of that too, you know. That way you can say like that hangar bay is closed for service or whatever, and that way you don't have any light shining in that direction at all. There's a reason I didn't want to finish everything up top and already have all of these different areas capped off, because I wasn't sure how high I was wanting to go, and it's a good thing I didn't go ahead and do that, because otherwise I'd be redoing all of these right now and have all 4 of them to rebuild at 1 level higher than just having done that one. And I've got a little bit of that one, the basic outer frame, to redo. But because I didn't just go ahead and dive in and build them, now it won't be much for me to do the rest of this. And I know how it's going to work. I know how it's going to line up. And you see how it's just going to basically enclose everything up to that point. And I've got this nice little thing, and that actually makes me really want to now do what I did here. Use the hinge to create like right up here, somewhere around this area. Basically, we'll do like a thing where I'll build a bar that goes across both of these, and it'll basically create maybe a spotlight that's aimed out here for specifically this area. Maybe do it that way. Maybe I just put lights in the ceiling and do that sort of thing. That'd be kind of cool to actually have it where once this is like done, I can label each one. Really need some kind of like sign labeling type thing for each, you know, for areas. So you can put up a little sign like Subnautica, you know, here's a little sign. It says north side, you know, whatever side we want to do it, like quadrant A. And that way you come up here, oh, quadrant A. Okay, I'm going to go to here, grab the controls for quadrant A, hangar, lights, and basically have like control across the, you know, be nice to be able to group stuff like that together. Be like, oh, I'm going to control all these hinges in one group and basically use it to raise and lower the lights like that. That'd be kind of cool to have. Not something I think we actually have working in the game. I know we don't have the signs that I've seen, but, you know, it'd be kind of cool to have stuff like that. And that is a total of 9 of the large tile lights shining in here. And the sunlight, the fading sunlight, or, you know, hazy sunlight, is brighter than those lights combined because of the reach that these lights have. I mean, I guess this is one we'll have to go with because I don't want just that whole shining through everything spotlight look. You know, at least at night it won't be so bad. You know, daytime the sun will be a little bit more prominent, so easy to go and say, oh yeah, let's just turn these off and we'll use the sunlight. Actually, it doesn't even shine in well enough, so I have to figure out something. Maybe they'll give us some more of a control over the lights. It'd be nice to have a way to control the brightness, honestly. You know, something where, yes, we have like the RGB, automatic function, bind key, stuff like that. It'd be nice to have maybe an option in there, maybe on certain lights, to do, you know, like, yeah, the bind key is nice, but do we really need could you give us an option maybe to change it? Or maybe when you go to the RGB, it gives you that plus an option for intensity. Somehow we need a way to control the intensity and say, like, if this is 100%, turn it down to 50, you know, to get a little bit less distance. Spotlights especially, you want to use them inside to create a brighter look. Give us the option to turn down the intensity so they don't shine through solid matter, or just, you know, fix it where they don't shine through solid matter. That would work too, devs. And so now the moment of truth. 180 or 1.891 million. So 1.89 million. I was 1.72, 1.73 million before I started redoing some of the stairwell stuff and adding all this extra stuff and expanding the stairwell. So yeah, 1.89 million. So doing some math real quick, that comes out to 65 roughly air blades to lift this. So my 64 air blades that I was thinking might actually be enough to keep it afloat for a while, I've already blown past that point, and I have not even finished adding all of the extra stuff for the hangars. You know, the top size of the hangars, that's not completely done yet. And then when I add the tower that continues up, because this is going to be the top of the hangar bays, and now the big landing pad area. So this is going to be here with probably, I'm actually going to consider extending the top side out a little bit more, just so we have a little bit longer spot. And even though I'm not going to have like a gap level between them or anything like that, I could still technically run some piping up through here. I mean, I could go in this way and just be like, all right, I'm going to, when I come up in the middle there, I'm going to have the conveyor come up here. We may have a conveyor that comes up this way, or I may just have conveyors that come out to here, and then we have them trunking up along each side as piping and feeding out this way. So we'll have the conveyors connecting in along through here, to our storage containers, as well as having something on the top side that will give you an ability when you land a vehicle, if you want to say like, oh hell, I'm gonna land here and use the conveyor connector to tie it all together. I also have one more thing I actually forgot to mention earlier. One change I made is that this right here, when I built this, I built it like this so I can mount it to the bottom so it have some sort of support to it. I decided to build over, and basically I have it two methods. You have this where it's actually connected through the conveyor connection in this, so you actually can, if you wanted to, let's say you decide to download this layer, you build this and you want to have this where it drops down low, and you just add a chain of conveyor pieces to drop it into the water. And hey, there's a piece of light that fell. Drop this into the water with the idea of having it where that connects down to a water pump to pull dirty water up, since we do have the autonomous water purifiers. So you would just need to be able to lower at times to get some dirty water. And to add for that, I have added another switch here, which is for the external utilities down below. So you could add power to a water pump. On top of that, it also gives you the option, if you really want to, connect downwards and throw a conveyor connector. Let's say you want to land this above a base and be able to tie it into the base production. You could do that. If somebody decides, once I put this on the workshop, because of the stacked level design, hey, you know what, I'm going to build a landing pad, so when this lands, it basically, you know, you could have some support struts like this where when it lands, it slots in to a certain spot, has a little opening that protects from these being hit, and then basically has that connecting down already to right here and connects automatically into the base production. There's a lot of different ways you could go with that, which is why I decided to do that. Leave it up to you when you decide, if you download this and want to play using it, to make adjustments. And instead of having to go in and actually change something to do that, I decided to just go ahead and make it where you have some choices. All right, so that's going to be it for this episode of Planet Nomads. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button, leave me a comment below, and hit subscribe if you haven't done so already. As always, I'm your host, Mr. Spicy. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to keep it spicy this week, and I'll see you in the next video.